Hello, good afternoon. This is Rob Costa for CardGameExpert, and today I'm going to be playing some Jeskai. This is a very different build of Jeskai than some of the builds I've seen before. This is a list by Aspiring Spike. He's a Twitch streamer, so definitely check them out. For the rest, this deck is based around Flagstones of Trocare and Cleansing Wildfire. That's the first little thing going on here. So those two together, what happens is if you Cleansing Wildfire your own Flagstones, you get 2 lands into play. So that's really nice. The other thing that's going on here, and that's the whole reason I want to play this deck, is Blood Sun, which turns off all the lands abilities, except for mana abilities, obviously, because otherwise it would be really busted. With Lotus Field. Lotus Field is a card that should see more play in Modern. This is a card that's very good. It's very powerful. It's a 1 mana Tron land, so with hexproof even, but you have to sacrifice 2 lands to play it. However, with Blood Sun, you don't. So that's really nice. For the rest, this just looks like a deck that's all in on that plan. That's the Fairy Hero of Dominaria going on here. This is the Fun Teferi. This one's great. I love this one. Yeah, this goes and untaps lands. This is a land, so you get to untap this. So you get to play Teferi for a very little mana. You go like, tap 2 Lotus Field, play Teferi, untap 2 Lotus Field, and now you made a mana on your Teferi. That seems very super reasonable. For the rest, it's standard Jeskai control fast stuff for how far you can call this deck standard. There's one Nexus of Fate in here as well, which is something I like in control decks. I've seen this before, but I do like it, although the Magic Online thing doesn't apparently, because it's not showing up. There we go. Yeah, this is just so you never run out of a late game. These decks tend to take a while, they tend to stay a while and listen, and yeah, just having this in your deck, just being like, okay, I have a Teferi, I'm plussing, play Nexus of Fate, plus Teferi again, or ultimate it, go Nexus of Fate, plus it again. Those are just ways to get really ahead in the game. Cryptic Command is here, Force of Negation is here, Snapcaster is here, no it isn't, no it is. Serum Visions is here, Bolt, that's all pretty obvious. The rest of the mana base is pretty obvious. There's some Shark Typhoons, because why would you ever not want a Sharknado? Yeah, let's see, we have Valakut Awakening in here. So, oh, and there's also some Tail Ends. I have not played this card yet, but people seem to be very high on it, so I'm just gonna try it out. For that, with the main deck, then we have the sideboard. There's some Madcap Experiments in here. I think the big surprise on these is gone at this point, but they could still be good. Settle the Wreckage is fun. I hate this card, but it's too good. Mystical Dispute and Aether Gust. So that's that. With that being said, as always, if you like the content and want me to do more of it, just like, comment, subscribe, let me know. And with that being said, this deck is being rented by MANATRADERS. This deck, I rent this deck at MANATRADERS. It's not rented by MANATRADERS, it's at MANATRADERS. Yeah, so if you want to check them out, want to try the deck for yourself, take a look at the link in the description down below for a discount. It's all in there. And with that being said, let's get to the games. So for our first hand, we have Serum Visions, Force of Negation, and they start off on a Hedron Crab. Yeah, so can't force that, so just playing the Rockruin Triomes. I bottom up Cleansing Wildfire here because it's just terrible both ways. If I Wildfire my own lands, I'm gonna get Archive trapped, and if I don't and go ahead and target them, they'll just get Hedron Crab trigger. So Cleansing Wildfire, absolutely terrible against mill. They play a second Hedron Crab and a Field of Ruin, so they get to mill more of my cards. As you can see on the left side in the column over there, my deck is going all the way down the drain. Then I end up turn cycle a Shark Typhoon to make sure that I get something going. Like, I need to raise them. I do think, however, that I'm immensely favored in this matchup just because I have Nexus of Fate in my deck. Yeah, so with Nexus of Fate not being in my deck, this matchup is atrocious, I think, because we're way too slow to stop this. And all of this game just revolves down to, can I cast a Nexus of Fate on time? As they go ahead and Hedron Crab me some more. They Field of Ruin me, but I decide to Tails End it because I don't want to give them the 2 triggers and I don't want them to activate their Archive Trap. End of turn Shark Typhoon, cycling, just need lands. I need to get my Teferi going so I can cast my Nexus of Fate. Down to 17 cards at this point. Lots of the deck is in the graveyard right now. They play a Mesmeric Orb, so I decide to go ahead and so upkeep my Mesmeric Orb mills me a bunch, then I decide to Teferi. And I go ahead and minus it because I can't make 7 mana this turn anyway. And then we get to the point where I can go end of turn, float a bunch of mana, let the Teferi trigger resolve, untap some lands, play a Nexus of Fate, and attack him for 1. And at this point I'm like, yeah, I've won, they're going to concede. So I just stop even bother attacking because I'm like, yeah man, they're dead, they can't win anymore. And well, there is just one little thing that I did not realize. We are on the internet and my opponent is going to bloody make me do it. I'm not kidding. I mean, I fast forward with this, I believe 8 times. This is 8 or 10 times faster. You can figure it out for yourself. Anyway, as you can tell, this is really fast. And this is still a very long sequence to look at because, well, this was really... Yeah. Please don't be this person. I mean, come on. You lost. It's okay. It's just a game of Magic. This is... and I get it. They're trying to mice my clock. But I'm going to be having more than enough clock no matter what. And this is kind of also a waste of their life as well. Because they're just sitting at the other side of the computer going... I hate this game. This matchup sucks. Oh, I fast forwarded it a bit too much. Anyway, this now it's good again. Okay, I fast forwarded it a bit too much there, but it's fine. It's fine. So I bought in some Teferis and stuff, so I can't get archive trapped end of turn, which makes my my searching a lot safer, I guess, and can't get spell pierced and stuff. I don't know if they run it, but yeah. Blood Sun goes to the bottom for me. Ruin crap for them. They just have double crap into lands here. Yeah, this is just one of their best starts. So I go ahead and Blood Sun, turning off their lands. But they go Drown in the Loch, which is a card I did not realize they played. Which I should have known that. It's a very good card in the deck. Yeah, they just go ahead and mill me some more, and then they go ahead and Field of Ruin me, so my land dies as well, my mana's under attack, and this is just a big problem with this deck in general. Like, they have the nuts, don't get me wrong, but a big problem with this deck is when you start attacking this mana base, which is already quite frail, you are going to get kind of murdered. And yeah, they just go double archive trap into something, and at this point I'm kind of playing out of spite, because I'm like, if you're not conceding, I'm not conceding. But yeah, I can't win anymore, and I'm just going to go in and attack. And at this point I just realized, like, what am I doing? I should just move along with my life, and that's what I should be doing. So I get Field of Ruin again, Tails ended out. This is all just playing out of spite, but I believe I just go ahead and just concede at some point here. Yeah. No. Oh god, man, concede already. Yeah, so I concede there. This hand's atrocious. This is a big problem with this deck, hands like these. Yeah, we have double tails, and they go for the Ruin Crab again. And all I need to do to win this game is not draw the Nexus of Fate. So if we could do that, that would be absolutely great. Go ahead and Tails and Polluted Delta. This is just a spy move. Like, I was really salty at them at this. Like, I really, really wanted to mice every bit of anger they could possibly muster up out of them. I just, yeah, I didn't even, yeah, like, I really wanted to win, but I wanted to ruin their day more than they just ruined my 10 minutes, basically. Like, I was very spiteful during this match. So they go ahead and Field of Ruin me. They play a Visions of Beyond, which is Ancestral Recall at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and Mystical Dispute that, because Ancestral Recall, for those of you who don't know, is a very playable card. And it's a very, very broken. Go ahead and Blood Sun and draw a card of the Blood Sun. Draw some more lands. At this point, I'm just drawing a lot of lands, so I really don't want to do that anymore. Just get me anything but lands. Go ahead and get Mind Funeral as well, and it still just doesn't really matter, because I'm just going to get ahead and Shark Typhooning at the end of turn. They Mesmeric Orb me a bunch, and at this point I just want them to mill me up, but there's the Nexus of Fate, so we win. That's just, yeah, all there is to it for this one. And I really feared that they were going to make me do it again, but this time they did concede, so thank you for that, opponent. But don't be such salt in the first game. It sucked and nobody enjoyed that. Recross the path for our next opponent on turn 3. I have no clue what's going on there, but I'm going to go ahead and counter that, because I don't trust this at all. Usually when your opponent does nothing, and then all of a sudden plays a weird spell that you've never seen put on the stack before, just bloody counter it, because you don't know, they do. And yeah, Simian Spirit Guide as well, just telling me something fishy is going on, that they block, which is fine. Just want to put on the pressure. And now I realized, this is turn 6, and now I finally realize what they're playing. So they're on Goblin Charbelcher, which I cryptic command, and then they Pact of Negation it back. And in response to the Pact of Negation trigger, they Goblin Charbelcher, but, well, I Tails end the trigger, so bye-bye. And they can't pay for Pact, so now they lose. This game made me laugh so hard. I was like, what the hell is going on? And then, Charbelcher is wildly inconsistent, so gonna make them lose now. Boarding a Madcap Experiment, mostly because it forces them to activate the Belcher twice, which buys me some time. And this is just another one of those double Lotus Fields hands. And they go ahead and turn to Blood Moon me, so I Cleansing Wildfire after playing my Lotus Field, because it's a mountain now anyway. So kinda get rewarded there for the Lotus Field keep. I draw the plains, and I have the island at this point, so yeah, just gonna go in. The Madcap Experiment as well. And they're just locked out of colors now, so yeah, that Blood Moon kinda really backfired for them. Cleansing Wildfire, secretly kind of really good Blood Moon insurance. And yeah, we're just attacking, they lost, they conceded. So for our next hand, again, double Lotus Field. Double Lotus Field is so awkward. They play an Aether Vial and put a counter on it on the next turn. They vial something in at the end of that turn. Giver of Runes come in. Aether Vial for them again. They vial in something again on the end of the turn too. This really annoys me. Like, they revealed a Yorion and they just curve out beautifully. And yeah, it's... I don't know. It's like you're playing 80 cards. Why are you curving out better than I am? It's so annoying at times. Valakut Awakening, put everything away. I hate all of the cards, and the ones I drew I potentially hate even more, so that's nice. Yeah, besides them curving out beautifully off a 80 card deck with a land hand, my draws were atrocious this game. We drew all sorts of cards that we didn't need at all. Cleansing Wildfires, tons and tons of land. Yeah, just great tracts of land, for those of you who know what I mean. As they go ahead and flicker with their Stoneforge Mystic. I play a Shark Typhoon. This is basically a desperation move. I have nothing going on, just all lands all the time. They play a Sword of Fire and Ice. They can't equip it yet, they don't have the mana, but they're attacking in for a bunch, so it doesn't really matter. They're just going to kill my life total anyway. I play it to Fairy, but there's just not that much this can do. It's just too little too late, which is another one of the things I really found with this deck, is just you get into the situation where you're doing the most powerful thing, but yeah, you are just so far behind. Man, I really need to sneeze. Anyway, they go ahead and attack with a Sword of Fire and Ice. They go and ping my face as well. I'm just playing a Blood Sun basically to see if I can cantrip into something. And yeah, there's nothing. I should have known there's just nothing that I can hit. I've drawn way too many lands. Just that Valakut Awakening into 4 land Serum Vision was so brutal. So we board out Cleansing Wildfire and Force of Negation and Shark Typhoon, and board in the Madcap Experiment combo again. They reveal their Yorion again. I see a Blood Sun and a Lightning Bolt. Gonna put both of those on top because it's really good right now. They play Stoneforge Mystic, getting a Battle Skull. Lightning Bolt before they can put it into play. Then they play an Archon of Emeria, and I'm at the point where I'm just thinking, well, this is all very fine and well, but I'm just gonna go ahead and Platinum Empyrean. So that's exactly what I do. They play a Sword of Fire and Ice. Blood Sun goes on the battlefield, draws me a card, and I'm just attacking in for 8. And as long as they don't draw a Path to Exile or a Condemn or something, this game is over. I mean, they're attacking because they want to draw the card of the pinging too. That's why they're attacking. They're not like, I'm gonna spite you or something. They just want to draw the card. For action, Revoker names the Fairy Hero of Dominaria, but they're gonna go ahead and block because otherwise they can't use their Sunbathed Canyons anymore. I find another Madcap Experiment, put it on top, Hallowed Fountain on top. Just want to keep making land drops. And Stoneforge Mystic for them. They find... I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. We play a Snapcaster Mage. Basically, I just want to add more pressure, and I can't flashback a spell anyway because of the Archon of Emeria. They block with the Stoneforge Mystic, play the Battle Skull, hardcast it. I go ahead and bolt them end of turn. I'm just trying to play a spell every turn, like theirs and mine. so I can get my hand empty. And yeah, they sort of fire an ice, deal 2 to my Snapcaster, that's fine. Use the cryptic command to bounce the germ token, and I can swing in for the win. Take out a Nexus of Fate and Bloodstone, bring in Force of Negation. I kind of really want to counter the 8th of Vile on turn 1 if I can. They play a Barenton Forge Tender after I mulligan an unplayable hand, and Barenton Forge Tender swings in. They play a Giver of Runes with a Ghost Quarter up. And so, yeah, I'm just getting beat down by Barenton Forge Tender. They play a Thalia, Guardian of Traben, which is really annoying here. My spells are really clunky, so them pressuring my mana base and my mana costs is very damaging to me. Archon of Emeria, kind of stuck in the loop there. Also attacking in the next turn, just not that much going on. I'm getting mana screwed really badly. And not even because I'm not drawing lands, but this deck cannot deal with someone pressuring their mana base. Like Thalia plus a Tectonic Edge plus a Ghost Quarter. It all just adds up a little bit, and all of it just kind of kills you really fast. So I've settled the records, Force of Negation, 2 Madcap Experiment, Bloodstone, and I can't do anything because I'm just getting out pressured by the Archon and the Thalia together with the Tech Edge. And at that point I just go ahead and take lethal, and we go to the next match. Another hand, oh man, just looking back at this, I should have mulliganed this. This is way too slow. We really need to draw some action. Instead we get Inquisitioned, and they play a Tarmogoyf. I draw Snapcaster Mage, but yeah, this is really, really bad. So Tarmogoyf comes in again and again. They play a Tarfire as well, so we're down to 10 now. Do I say it correct? No, we're down to 8 even. They play a Traverse the Ulvenwald, play a Dead Shadow. And at this point, I very, very much lost already. I should have mulliganed that hand. That's all I can say about this game. They attack in for a bunch. Fatal Push my Shark token, but I'm going to go ahead and Force of Negation back, as I still need to sneeze. Man, that is brutal. Commenting is hard sometimes. I end up going to go for the Lightning Bolt, Snapcaster Lightning Bolt, because I figure they have one card. If it's stubborn to not, I lose no matter what. And try to top deck a bolt here. So I'm going for Bolt, Snap, Bolt. And then try to top deck a Lightning Bolt. So I can get to a situation where, if I draw the Bolt, I win. Which I believe is my only out at this point. However, I draw a land. This deck always draws a land. This mana base is something. This mana base is something that really takes some serious getting used to. We play a Cleansing Wildfire on them because I'm trying to get them out of their colors. They're a very frail 4-color, like 1 or maybe 2 basics kind of decks. I'm trying to just force them out of their colors. Like if they can't play red, if they can't play blue. I mean, you can tell now they don't have red mana, and because they needed to fetch for blue again. And that just makes it so they can't team up Battle Rage me, and that's just giving me some space to breathe while I'm just making land drops no matter what. There is an argument to be made for me playing the Cleansing Wildfire on my Flagstones of Trocare and just ramping up, which, looking back at it, might be powerful, if not even more powerful. It's a hard call. Like, do you want to mana screw them, or do you want to improve your own ramp? It's a hard call for sure. But that's Magic, you know. You have just these close calls where you're like, if I do this and it works out, it wins me the game on the spot, and you try and go for it and you don't get it. Anyway, they play 2 Dead Shadows as I cantrip a bunch, and this is just something this deck does as well. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a lot of card draw and a bunch of damage, and there's nothing that really gains you like a ton of life to get back into it. So anyway, they're attacking the Fairy, so I block with the Snapcaster Mage on the Tarmogoyf to make sure that the Fairy survives. I just want to draw as many cards as I can. As Platinum Empyrean comes into the battlefield, the Fairy draws me more cards. I go for a Valkyrie Awakening, and they actually go ahead and delay it. I forgot this card existed. I've played it before. I have an open top 16 with delay in my sideboard, but I forgot it existed. It's just how this works sometimes. And then they have an Abrade. So yeah, my Platinum Empyrean just dies, and now I'm looking at 2 Tails and then the Fairy, and everything is just miserable from this point. And I'm going to go ahead and put that Tarmogoyf 3rd from the top, but they fail of Summer it. And at that point, I'm going to give them the honor of killing me, but I'm very, very dead. So yeah, GG's. So after playing these games, I'd probably go ahead and take out the Lightning Bolts. I thought Lightning Bolt wasn't very good at all in this deck, and I would just replace them with, Path to Exile. Because, well, the games that I had a ton of trouble with were the games where Lightning Bolt just didn't do anything. And I thought Lightning Bolt in general was just really bad in this deck. Like, there's no pressure. So you're just, like, running this red removal because it's a bit better for your mana base. Like, just make the mana base a bit more wide. Valakut Awakening was fine. I kind of liked it. It was a bit slow, but that's definitely a problem with just not having enough early game. So if the early game becomes more consistent, I can see Valakut Awakening becoming a lot better. Bloodstone was great. Cleansing Wildfire was great. Yeah, the main problem I just had was, like, the early game got us so far behind that even our super powerful top end, because this top end is really powerful, just didn't catch us back up enough. So I could see going, like, adding some Bone Crusher Giants, because you get to, like, kill something, get a blocker, get some power to exile, so you can get rid of Tarmogoyf, Dead Shadow, stuff like that. For the sideboard, let's see. Yeah, sideboard seems fine. People definitely know about the Platinum Imperium. My opponent on Dead Shadow boarded in a Braid without seeing an artifact. So people definitely know about this, which makes it a bit worse. You could run, like, something else. I don't know, but this seems fine. Teferi's fine. Settle's fine. Gust is... 4 Gust seems like a lot. I don't know. Like, I could see cutting, like, one of these for something else, but I wouldn't know what. Maybe it's I can settle or something. I don't know. Deck is very powerful, just wildly inconsistent. So if you can fix the consistency on this one without changing too much of the power away from it, you have a winner for sure. Because this deck, when it's going, it's really going. It's very reminiscent of like Blutron in that sense. With that being said, as always, if you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.